I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. No! Oh no. Why do I get the My Little Pony scene? Can I change this? Can I change this? My name is Brandon Benjamin Bonner, also known as B.B.B on this platform. I am 17, maybe 18 when this comes out. I have autism, which is a common theme for me, getting bullied or like picked on. And I'll explain those later in this documentary, which is a weird experience. I am British. This documentary is about my entire life so far, like all the good points, negative points. It's kind of explaining who I am as a person, where I've started and what I'm going to do moving forward. Growing up was a weird time, so it was when I was 6 years old I was diagnosed with Asperger's. It was a weird time because I don't really act the same. My mind doesn't process things the same way everyone else does in my family. So I have to ask them to elaborate and like somewhat make it clearer. It's a weird thing growing up when you're the only one there that has autism. I mean, I did have a medical condition. I was diagnosed at a very young age. I can't remember when, but it was SVT, supraventricular tachycardia. And for me, it was a case where if I do any type of exercise, or if I get like scared or shocked or anything like that, my heart will go at a very fast pace, and it will stay like that. Even if you breathe down, it's just stay in that one motion, that one continuous, in a music term, one continuous beat per one continuous tempo. It doesn't speed up, it doesn't slow down until you have to take some medication. When it came to my first school, I was the only white ethnic there, as far as I remember. All the other students were Middle Eastern. Since I'm the only white ethnic there that has autism there, they put me on my own separate desk while everyone else was just in groups. It's like they're trying to single me out from the rest of the class. I can speak to the teacher, I can speak to anyone because of how things were in that freaking school. I never really wanted to carry on, so about a couple of years later down the line we moved schools, and I never felt better. I think to me that my second primary school, I don't know how you call it in America, if for those of America watching, you have to let me know in the comments, but when I moved from my first primary school to my second one, I met a load of new people there. They're actually quite nice. I still speak to them. I speak to them rarely. That's the thing. There was a time where I sort of just looked at like friend groups, because in primary back then, I think you had a girl group, a boy group, and a football group, like a mixed. You had like a football group where they just play football all the time. You got a boy group where they just mess around. A mixed group where it's boys and girls, and you got just a genuine girls group. I was in the mixed, to be honest. When it came to how I met them, it was in, I believe, first grade or year one, as we call it here in England. It was that's like a weird thing to experience because I didn't know how to speak to anyone because of first ever primary school, and they treated me like absolute shit. The thing is, when I started to move and meet new people, it was kind of a struggle because I didn't know how they would act towards me. Never in a million years have I ever thought that they would be nice because of what I've experienced before going to that second primary school. Most of the time I was just hanging around with friends. It was the best school I've went to because secondary school was just a pain in the ass. I mean, looking back at secondary school, it was a weird, and I mean weird, and just a sad period of my life. Don't get me wrong, the first few years, they were chill. But the last 2 years were just full of criticism, full of bullies and shit like that. It was in either year 9 or 10 I started making video games. I think making games was just like a way of like distracting myself from the outside world, where it's just like, I got my own little bubble, I can just work on whatever I want. Then when it came to people noticing it, 3 people in my English class started asking a bunch of questions, and they were obviously manipulating me to thinking that they cared. Obviously, it wasn't a big deal back then, but looking back on it, it just shows that back then I did not have any value towards anyone in that fucking class. It was just a weird period where it's just like, oh, you make a game, get bullied. Make music, get bullied. You have a YouTube channel, get bullied. That's kind of... Bear in mind, I don't take criticism well. I don't like handle it well. I still pushed through that situation. I still made music and games throughout that period, but there's always that one minor fault that can easily put you off. I didn't know how to defend myself, obviously not. I didn't know how to throw hands, obviously not. But looking back on that situation, I would have handled it a lot more differently, but I couldn't because I could have, but I just didn't have the power or the strength to do so. When it came to 11th grade, or year 11 as we call it here, it was the final year because I didn't want to come back to that school. I just felt, you know what, get my exams out the way and leave because I've had enough. I got loads of weird videos flying at me from none other than Boa. I got random videos making weird accusations, and he dragged some of my friends along into it as well. Obviously I responded, but the stuff I said back wasn't okay. We went back and forth on social media, making different points, and realistically I was defending myself while throwing stuff back at him. Thankfully we're on good terms now, otherwise you wouldn't see that Among Us video in the DBE archives. I got another sort of thing a couple of months afterwards with another friend of mine, and I posted on social media saying I'm going to quit game development because there's no point of me just putting it out there if all I get is criticism. Here it is this, and I quote, "Why can't you take hate? I get hate. Your games are just not fun. No originality. Just accept the fact that you need improvement." Yeah, at the time I was just a weird person, but I still want to fucking take all that back. I think when that person made that statement, I just felt, at the time I wasn't feeling good. I wasn't in a good position, and I guess I could have handled the situation a lot more calmly, but how I was feeling at the time, I went full speed ahead and just stopped and everything. Thankfully, we're all on good terms now. The 3 people in the English class, I don't even talk to them because they're just cunts. They're just cunts, really. Why would I talk to 3 people that have bullied me for 2 years straight? Yes, I can say a lot of stuff that don't mean anything that can easily be used against me. But you know what? I'm a lot better now. Yeah, another point about those 3 bullies. One time I remember I was just focusing on my work and they were just calling out my name saying, "Hey, Brandon, are you listening?" I'm like, no, I was just ignoring them. And then they said that, "Oh, if you don't listen, we're gonna beat you up after class." I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, okay, let's just not risk my entire face getting bad. And I had no other choice but to respond. Most of these reasons are why I make characters now, because when I'm in a very dark mindset, I just start writing. And creating. Not back then, nowadays, when I'm in like a very dark mindset, I just write and draw. When it came to making music in games, I just saw that as a way of just coping through like secondary school. I saw that as a coping mechanism of just like, oh, this is happening, let's just take my mind off of all this like troubles I'm going through and just make music, make games. Now it's just like a thing that I do for fun now. I mean, for me, accidents happen all the time. Like, I can say some dumb shit sometimes, but when it came to me saying over the top shit, that's when I've said, you know what, let's just stop at this point. I say a lot of bad stuff, and I instantly regret afterwards, but when it came to secondary school, I just didn't really care, because I was just a weird child back then. What I've said to various people is that I am working for different indie game companies and I have some medical conditions and all that stuff. I don't, man. So I've said I've worked for various indie game companies, so I've said I've got medical conditions and this going on. Later down the line, it just clicked that, why are you lying? Why are you doing this to yourself? You're gonna lose everyone. And I've lost a bunch of close friends due to this. So it is my fault, really. It's my fault for saying all this mean shit. Me also realising that I've fucked up also led to battles of depression, anxiety, and my battles with depression and anxiety were far beyond belief. I mean, Bo admits that we had a little debacle back in secondary. It doesn't necessarily hurt now, but back then it really pissed me off. Also, when it came to my bad deeds, which I've mentioned earlier, like faking a bunch of stuff, faking medical conditions and stuff like that, that's what really got me. That's what really said, you know what, since I've done this to myself, I'm not good enough. I wish to strive to be better, but realistically there's no point in saying sorry, because apologies do not work in this world anymore. Apologies don't work in this world anymore, I can 100% tell you that. Because it's not about how many times you apologise, it's the acceptance. Phobias as well, like, you got fear of missing out, that's the anxiety I have. Fear of not being important. I mean, you got the common ones like death, like obviously I'm scared of it. You got heights, obviously that's a common one as well, but the 2 I mentioned at the first 2 are just at the point where, you know what, if I'm not involved, then they'll lead me to think that my friends are better off without me. Obviously they're not, I know that already, because looking back on all the support recently, because I posted on my Discord server about the Scott Cawthon situation. Scott was a massive inspiration for me, like obviously he's a massive inspiration. Like, I think he's one of the main reasons why I still do music and game development. When I heard that he was getting loads of criticism from the LGBTQ community, yes, I was upset of what Scott did. I would send him an email saying, okay, this is bad, but is it for the right? Is this the reason why you're doing it? But it got worse to the point where people start sending him death threats towards Scott and his family. He announced his retirement, and I just felt lost. I felt lost for words. Situations that can happen towards myself and my friends are so bad that, like, recently we found out that a person has criticised a really close friend of mine, saying just because of their age means that they are non-intelligent or unintelligent. I can't remember the thing. It's like he's saying the less the age, the less intelligent you are. That's not the case. You can get geniuses at age 10 and dumbasses at age, oh god knows, like 27. Never mind. I know I'm a bit smart. And I'm age 17. I don't know, somewhat in the middle of it. For my age, I'm smart at certain things. And we felt uncomfortable, so we got in a group chat. We called and we just talked about the situation. Then we sat us out for like a couple of weeks, and then the two other, I think one of the two, I think the one that didn't get criticised but felt uncomfortable, told the friendship group I'm in with them as well, and we came to the conclusion that this person that has said the M-word and that criticising thing towards my friend will not play with us. Pushing through life is a weird thing for me because I have to work. Not work, I mean I have to somewhat wake myself up either by alarms or just waking up at random. Then all of a sudden you get a message from someone saying, like constantly every day, saying, oh, you're available to play today. I'm like, no, I'm busy. Yes, some of the time I'm available to play, but come on man, I need a break. I want to work on my content. This is also the same person that said the M-word and criticised my close friend. The reason why their names will not be mentioned is because it's for their safety. Once this person realised what he's done, hopefully he can open his eyes a bit and realise that life isn't about criticising people for your personal gain. Life is about respecting one another. Life is about making amends, making friends, bringing family together again. Like bringing family members closer, bringing friends closer. Life is about doing what you think is best for yourself, and just don't let other people tell you how to live your life. Like that's the main reason I've kind of just stopped I've stopped like focusing myself on criticism at this point. It's just don't let others tell you what to do. Like if I was to be honest with you, if I was to follow all my friends' instructions saying, oh, you must do this, this and this, like in school and stuff like that, I'll be working at McDonald's at this point. I'll be working at McDonald's or like another fast food joint. It would be that bad. I rarely talk about this, but in December of 2020, you know, like that year, you know, I was in a very, very low position, and you could see in that video I recorded called Tired, where I was just tired of everything. I broke down. I started crying in that video because of what had happened in the past few years, and it's also how lucky I am. I want to thank everyone for, saving my life countless times. So I'm be grateful for what I have now, and I'm at a point where I just look back and realise that all these situations affect me personally, and these people that I know nowadays actually listen. I've been through a load of stuff. I know people say that all the time, but I've been through a load of stuff, like, because of me having autism and me being defenseless. It's a weird life we live, but it's a weird life I live, and it's a shame that people in this world have to make sure it's their way by dragging along other people in the process. And I'm thankful that these people I know today are not those people. Like, seriously. I know nowadays it's a bit calm now, because everyone's just a bit chill nowadays. I know what I'm saying about people being chill, people being chill in my past friends I know, they're just chill. They don't really talk to me because they've got their own lives ahead of them. And there's a question I've been asked once before, is like, why don't I play with Ellie or Hayden anymore? It's because they have a more peaceful life without me, because realistically Hayden's got his own stuff going on with him. He's in a band, which is actually pretty good, and Ellie has a kid, so Ellie has a baby girl, so I thought I'd just leave Ellie and focus on raising that child with her boyfriend. So I just thought, as for the benefit, I recommend you not appearing in any more recordings to focus on your family. But I'm thankful in the position I'm in now. Like, Jesus Christ, look at me now. Back then I was just defenseless. Now all these people behind me. It's weird to see how I went from a kid with nothing to somewhat of an adult with all this stuff going on with all these people behind me. It's weird to see that transition. I've told Dean countless times about my struggles in the past, and obviously he listens, and he just says take a break, because realistically I need one. I just need a break after all these memories flooding back. I just need a break from it. I know I've never said this on camera before, but Dean is one of the nicest people I've met on the platform. Dean is one of the nicest people I've met. I know people say, oh, I'm nicer than that, but no, Dean is there for me. Dean is there for me whenever I feel somewhat in a low position. I mean, so is everyone else, but I mainly contact Dean because he's one of the closest friends I've met online. Without him, I wouldn't have been here in this position. I know I say that a lot to pretty much most of my friends online in the Discord server I've got, but it's the truth at this point. Like Jesus, look at me. It's weird to see my channel that I just post like memes and shit on there. Like I'm a meme editor, but I'm not as talented as other people. Like, for those who've stuck by me, like, I want to thank you all. Like, Jesus Christ. I know YouTubers say this a lot, and I'm thankful for 60 subs. Like 60 subs for me is a massive thing. I know it's a small number, but Jesus Christ, it's weird to see this channel that I post for fun and stuff like that reaches a massive goal like that. The reason why got this massive, I say massive influence, but it's not really massive. It's 60 subs really, but it's a massive influence to me. And I know YouTubers that have like about 500,000 subs or whatever say that they're grateful, but realistically they just, I don't know. It's a weird thing. I am genuinely thankful for what I have. It's unreal. Like, people say that all the time, but but I'm being 100% honest with you. I am thankful because people just actually choose to listen. People actually choose to stick around. It's a weird thing. Like, realistically, I could be working somewhere else if it wasn't for these people. They don't tell me what to do. They push me through it. Realistically, this could have been my final video. Realistically, I could have stopped YouTube a long time ago, but realistically, I was at a point where I just felt comfortable making videos. And then once my videos got the certain recognition, my channel skyrocketed, and I went from about 30 subs to about 50. Like, that's insane. It's weird for me to say everything.
Describe B in 3 words. Comedic, friendly, adaptable.
Describe Brandon in 3 words. Nice, shy, and conserved. Because he's just all of those in general.
I would say number 1, you're a caring person. You very much are a very loving and caring person. I see loving as the same as caring, though. Second word would probably be hardworking. You really are committed to your work. While it may be hard for you to get to it, you do very much work on it, though, and you're very, very, very good at what you do. And 3 is a hard one because that's your last word, but there's so many other words I would want to use for you. So I would probably pick persistent, because no matter what in life, you still choose to continue on and do things with the struggles that you have now. And I think I admire that in you a lot, for being as young as you are.
Funny. Driven. And then I'm going to cheat here. A little bit crazy.
Honest opinion about B. I mean, you're a good friend. Like, you're genuinely, like, funny as shit. He is comedic. Like, he's definitely got a funny bone in there. Very friendly. It's just kind of like reiterating the 3 words thing. He's a really good friend. Like, really. B is a really good friend. And fucking funny as shit. Honestly, like, if B was living in Ireland, I would be hanging out with him every fucking day. This is good shit, like. But yeah, B's funny, he's a good friend, fucking real sad that he doesn't live nearby, because I would absolutely hang out with him IRL as much as I fucking could, because bruh, just absolute awesome crack energy just bouncing off of each other. He's also very creative. He'll never admit to it, but he is very creative.
What is my honest opinion about Brandon? My honest opinion about Brandon, personally, is he's a pretty nice guy. He's a pretty chill dude. Love his content, love what he's doing. I hope he keeps doing what he's doing.
You're a very good person. While you struggle with your time and you think sometimes you're not good enough, you're very much worthy of what you do in life. And you're a very, very, very good person. Like, I couldn't have asked for a better friend. And you just do everything for us, and even when you're not okay, you put forth an effort to try to make sure we're okay, which is very, very sweet of you.
Brandon is like a little brother. He's chill. He's fun to hang out with. Says the darndest things out of nowhere though. So
First impression? My first impression. This kid needs a friend. Legit. It was just, this kid needs a friend. Yeah, no. First impression was just like, bruh, I need to be your friend, because you need a fucking friend, my guy. Because I don't know what it was. I just got the vibe of, like, this kid has been through some serious shit that he shouldn't have. My vibe from you was just, this kid has been through some shit he shouldn't have, so he needs a friend, and I'm here to do that.
My first impression of Brandon. Okay. My first impression of Brandon, exactly. I have to say, I think the first time we probably met, I think in a Twitch stream, because I think I went to his thing and apparently he was streaming or something. I don't know. I don't exactly remember, but my first impression of Brandon was British. That's like I didn't know much about him until I really got to know him, which is up until now.
What is your first impression of Brandon? I thought you were very shy, honestly. When I first met you, I really did think you were very shy. We were literally playing Among Us, and you were filming a video, and then out of nowhere, I remember this because my name was still Cute as Duck. I had not changed it. And then I was in the egg hat, and I was yellow. And I was like, shush. My turn to talk, and you made a meme out of it. And I think that's when the instant moment we became friends was because we both had the same kind of humor, because we both found that funny enough to do something about it. And I honestly loved that moment so much, and I didn't realize you were filming until afterwards, so I found it hilarious. And then we even became the Among Us couple in that video where we were doing the couple strats, and we weren't husband and wife yet, but then we decided to have the ceremony later on a next Among Us session, and it was very, very funny. So yeah, all from that shy moment to now we joke that we are husband and wife at Among Us with the child named Kami, and it's just hilarious.
first impressions of Brandon. Well, I met Brandon through Dean, so I'm like, oh, new friend. Okay, let's see how this goes. Because sometimes I don't click with people very well, but like basically instantaneously, it was like, okay, yeah, this guy's cool. This guy knows what he's doing. For the most part. He spends way too much goddamn time in the Nether.
Improvements that I've seen in B. I know what improvements I've seen, I just don't know how to word them. Because I don't want to also, like, step on a nerve as well. Because if wrong choice of words can really fuck shit up. Well, I'd definitely say that you've raged a lot less. Like, remember when we were, like, starting the fucking Dream Seed fucking server? And you just kept, like, smacking your hand off shit?
Yeah, one time I just legit just said, you know what, I've had enough of raging. I'm like, you know, I've hurt my hand enough.
It's been a speedy change, like, in terms of how long we've known each other. Yeah, you have definitely changed a lot in a good way. Yeah, you're definitely a lot less ragey. You're like, even back at the start you were funny, but now you're just even funnier. It really do be that way. It really do be that way. Plus, because of all the shit that we have done so far in this time, we just keep building up on top of the shit we've done to make things even dumber and funnier.
What improvements have you seen in Brandon? I've seen that Brandon has been becoming especially like more creative and more honest about his feelings, and I think like music-wise, mentally, he's much more confident, I think.
What improvements have you seen in Brandon? Oh my god, you literally, I did not know how, like, hardworking you were or anything yet at the moment. So once I started seeing that more and more in you, oh my gosh, I see such a strong human being, and I did not think that was the case for you. I thought you were, not saying you were weak, but I thought you were like a normal human strength, where it was like so much and then you would just crumble into pieces. And you're not. You're very strong, and you proceed to just do what you need to do. And like, I could never do that. I really couldn't. I don't know how you do it. Like, it's amazing, mind blowing. What's another word for it? Oh my gosh.
Exemplary.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that was a good word. I'm like, there's just, I just the improvement of you working on your mental health while still doing what you love the most is just mind-boggling to me, because I could never do that, really, truthfully and honestly, could never.
What improvements have I seen in Brandon? Well, I've seen you shave your head in the time I've known you. This is besides the point. Emotionally, you've matured a lot, which is a good thing. Most men don't mature until their early 50s. Sometimes not even then. But emotional maturity is it's important to actually have. It's not something easily obtained, but it is sometimes easily forgotten. While I haven't had time to play the game, you've improved in your game making. I've seen a little bit of it. I just haven't had the time to play it myself. You can take criticism better than you did when we first met. I think your sense of humor has actually grown with you too. So, because yeah, there's some rough patches of this is kind of funny, but also not funny. So I'm going to laugh, but it's going to be like kind of awkward laughing. But there's also times where I'm like, oh my god, I'm going to die from what he just said. You've agreed to let me dye your hair? That was a shock.
Yep.
But this is a long question here. Is there any times that he has scared you on an emotional level, being depressed? Actually, yes, absolutely. It's more so much worry than scared, cause I'm gonna get like very personal in this one, I think, because like I have various fears and shit that tie into this kind of thing. Cause I have another friend. I'm not gonna mention who, but like I have another friend who, like, there's a couple times every year I've known him that he has changed his name to a birth and a death date and his icon to black. But like I have, yeah, it's kind of hard to talk about. But like this other friend is like, this is the moment where I end myself, kind of thing that he does, and I worry, because I don't want that same thing to happen here. Like, I feel that you're not quite the same person to do that kind of thing, but you definitely reach levels that you could end up doing that thing, and I'm just like, please don't. I've already lost friends in the past to that shit. I'd rather not. And honestly, like, when I see you being, like, depressed and anxious and shit, like, I get that shit too, but on a much minuter level now because I'm on medication. But like, I see that shit too, and I'm just like, you need to get help, buddy. And I want to be that person to help, but I am not professionally trained to do so. I can only help in a way that a friend can, you know? When you go like blacked out or whatever to take your breaks, I'm just like, please come back from this. Every single time, I'm just like crossing my fingers, please come back from this. Because I've seen so much shit like this. I don't want it to be an ending, you know?
No. He's just a bud. He's one of the homies. We just chill, play games, watch creepy VHS tapes on the internet. The thing that boys do.
Oh, so many times. I'm that mom figure in everyone's life where, like, I'm scared whenever they don't talk to me. Like, I truthfully and honestly care way too much for all of you. And just, I mean, there's been so many times where, like, I just want you to be okay. And you not talking to me because you're taking a break scares me sometimes. And I love you and I just want you to be okay.
There's been a few times I wasn't sure if you were either A, gonna make it through, or I worry, probably a little bit unhealthily levels of worry for all my friends, especially if I know they're going through a bad time. It's not something I talk about a lot. I'm gonna do the ADHD thing where I have to insert a story that's relevant. I get it, because I've been through that too, and it's not something I usually share with people. Just know it does get better. So yeah, I worry when I see stuff like that, when he posts stuff like that. Cause I'm like, boy, if I was there, you would be on the couch and we'd be having a freaking movie marathon. I would be spending time with you because I feel like that's what you need right now.
Any memories and stories we have? Oh god, don't tell me about the original Sir. Oh my god, the original Sir. You yoinking his fucking rotten meat and me just dying wheezing. We've had a number of fucking moments, honestly. It's just
too many of them.
Well, that, and it's just I have a sieve memory. So they escape me after a while.
The amount of Twitch clips I've recorded and the amount of memes is just unreal.
Yeah, and a lot of them are either involving me or related to me in some way. Like half of the okay, maybe not half of the shit, but like a good chunk of the clips that you have were on like a server of mine or during a stream of mine or something like that, you know? Oh my god. I'm looking at my clips right now. And I'd say like a good third, at the very least, a good third of the clips off my Twitch were made by you. Don't need to stop, it's just like, holy shit, man, you doing some good work here. Man, I was like legit panicking with how much stupid soup I made.
I think another memory was our first recording together on that one.
On the
Iron
Let's
Man.
Play?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a realm world. That's one of our realm worlds that we just haven't revisited because we have the hill. Like, I keep wanting to go back to the other worlds, but the hill is just... It's the hill. Like,
Yeah.
you know?
But yeah, I'd share stories, but I'm sure all of our stories are pretty much in video, so. Brady, you got anything to add?
I originally wasn't gonna be friends with Brandon, and then I spent some time with him, and I realized we had a very similar sense of humor, and we sort of kicked it off from then.
Yeah, that's everything I see, because it says after that you just need to share stories or any memories that you have with each other. And I mean, pretty much all of our memories that are like funny or would make a light-hearted moment of it would be in videos. Like, I'm for real when I say this. People need to go watch those videos. They are some of my favorite videos to watch when I'm sad and genuinely make me the happiest person alive.
I was trying to remember if like the D&D was funny because certain jokes were cracked in there.
Oh god, yeah, D&D.
The most recent event, which was Agatha vs Smoke, I was slightly drunk at the time.
Ah! Yeah.
And you could tell how drunk I was by the fact of me switching between the break scene and a meme scene, which was just... Yep.
Oh, it was a good time though.
So luckily the shopkeepers will be a lot more a lot more of an interesting touch, and I can reveal one thing that. Oh no, should I say this?
Yes.
Finwick will be a shopkeeper.
Fuck yeah! Fenwick Frederick Forklift!
Finwick Frederick Forklift. Let's go.
Let's go!
You'll see him in his high vis, just and his construction worker hat, just as a shopkeeper.
You think you got what you needed, or should we keep going?
I think I got what I needed.
And then some, right?
Hey guys, just saying thank you for watching this documentary. I have had trouble recording it several times in the past because the camera angle and the lighting were off, but I think I got it this time due to the massive white screen in the back. So, thank you all so much for this one continuous journey that I'm still making. I can't thank you all enough, man. Anyways, I think that will conclude it for the documentary. If there is anything missing out, that was because it couldn't been said. It shouldn't have been said on camera because that was mainly more private stuff. There's a lot of stuff I have said but edited out because that's more private than documentary worthy, so I had to edit some of that out. Normally I'd say like and subscribe, but in a documentary like this I just want to say keep supporting the channel, keep supporting everyone else that's been involved. I want you all to thank Dean, Lila, Cami and CJ for doing the interviews, and go show them as much love as you can, because realistically without them four, those four like close friends of mine, I wouldn't be here. That's kind of what I have to say about the documentary. Say go support everyone that's been interviewed in this, keep supporting myself and those who I've collabed with, and I will catch you on the next upload. Also, yes, it's my birthday today, so if you want to leave a birthday message down below, then thank you very much. So, I'm surprised that I've made it this far with this channel, and I have about 60 subs. I know I've said this earlier in the documentary, but Jesus Christ, 60 subs for a channel that's just mainly for memes. This channel started off as like a simple, like, oh, just project based, not necessarily like entertainment based. Now it's entertainment based more and less project based. I think I need to find that balance again. So yeah, this is going to be a weird thing to experience later down the line. There's like a balance between projects and regular gameplays and like vlogs and stuff like that. I'm trying to get vlogs done, but realistically COVID hit, so mainly I would have vlogged like, oh, I'm gonna go to Ireland to meet up with Dean, so maybe go to America to meet up with a bunch of my other friends that you've collabed with, like Cami, Lila, CJ, Elijah, you know, all these great people. I will leave the links of people who've been interviewed in the description. Let's have an amazing year, and thank you all for supporting so far.